What if I told you that the path you're on right now, the job you work, the super you're building, the savings you're scraping together won't be enough to retire comfortably? Because for most Australians, it won't. The numbers just don't stack up. That super you're building won't last, your savings won't stretch, and if you don't change course soon, you'll be forced to work long past when you want to stop, or worse, you'll be relying on the pension. That's not a retirement, that's a slow financial decline. Here's the brutal truth. If you don't take action soon, you could spend the last 20 to 30 years of your life totally and utterly broke, counting every dollar, worrying about inflation, and the ever worsening cost of living crisis. And here's the harsh reality. If you don't make the right financial moves in your 40s and 50s, you won't get a second chance. And when retirement hits, whether you're ready or not, there's no do-over. But there is a way to flip the script, to retire sooner and richer by using property. Not just to sit and hope for growth, but to manufacture equity and unlock real wealth. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how strategic renovations and dual income properties can fast track your freedom. Even if you're starting late, even if your borrowing feels capped, and even if the market seems out of reach. I'm going to show you how we help everyday Australians completely transform their retirement timeline. No hype, no fluff, just a clear plan that works if you're willing to take action. But you have to move because time isn't on your side, and the longer you wait, the narrower your options get. But before we dive into the how, let me tell you where this all started for me. When I was 18, I was working two jobs and saving like mad for an R33 Skyline. I'd stacked up about $16,000 and was ready to buy the car of my dreams. But then my old man stepped in, old school, straight talking, no nonsense, and asked me how much I had saved. I told him and he was quite impressed. And he said, I'll match it, but you're not buying a car, you're buying a property instead. And that's how I bought my first house in Western Sydney in 2005 for $270,000. Now, at that time, my old man was a renovator. So we rolled up our sleeves, got to work, and reconfigured the layout, turning a two-bed, one-bathroom property into a four-bedroom, two-bathroom property, and increased the value by nearly $100,000. I didn't really realize what we were doing at the time, but we were manufacturing equity, and that one move put me on the path I'm on right now. My first job out of school was in real estate. Since then, I've spent 20 years in this space, buying, renovating, selling, investing, and everything I teach today is built from those early lessons. Buy well, add value, build long-term wealth with intention, and that's what this strategy is all about. So let's cut to the chase. Here's the raw truth no one talks about. If you want to retire at 65, live till you're about 85, and want to spend about $100,000 per year, you'll need $2 million either in cash, savings, or super, or assets that cash flow you this amount. The reality is most Australians don't even come close. So they either will need to keep working or retire broke, scraping through, just getting by on the pension. That's not financial freedom, that's just surviving. So the question is, how do you close that gap quickly and safely while you've still got time on your side? Let me be blunt. Most Australians fail at property investing not because they're lazy, not because they don't want success, but because they stumble into it without a clear goal, without a strategy, and without any real intention. Most investors don't have clear goals or set the right intention. They buy a place because someone at a barbecue said it was a good area. or they hang on to their old home as an investment when they upgrade their current home. They become accidental investors by default, not by design. And here's the thing, you can't hit a target that you can't see. And if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. And that's why years go by and their portfolio barely moves the needle. No real growth, no real income, no real options. Here's the truth. Most people don't want to hear. You don't get ahead by chasing the next so-called hotspot, binging YouTube to find the holy grail strategy, or analyzing the data of 15,000 suburbs. Most of the stuff that you're listening to or watching is nothing more than clickbait. Most investors have their focus on the wrong things. Their priorities are in the wrong order. I too didn't fully understand this concept. Investing is not a game of property, it's a game of finance. I realized after many years in the game and studying the wealthiest investors that there are only two main constraints when it comes to growing a property portfolio. The first is most investors run out of cash to use for deposits to be able to purchase their next investment. And the other was they run out of borrowing capacity. Wealthy investors get ahead by understanding the real game. The real game is borrowing capacity, because the person with the most borrowing power wins. More borrowing power means more properties, and more properties mean a bigger asset base. And that's where compounding really starts to kick in. Because here's the truth about property investing, possibly the most unpopular truth. It's not sexy, but it's true. Time in the market always beats timing the market. You don't need to be a crystal ball gazer trying to predict the next hot suburb or the perfect moment to buy or sell. What really drives long-term wealth is steady strategic growth, and that comes from compounding. Property growth isn't a straight line, it's exponential. And the longer you stay invested and keep growing your asset base, the faster your wealth starts to snowball. And that's the power we tap into by building a strong, self-sustaining property portfolio that grows over time. Now, some people think the answer is buying in a hotspot and riding the market, but that's not a strategy, that's wishful thinking. By the time you hear about a hotspot, it's already cooled off. The gains are gone, the competition's fierce, and you're too late. The only real benefit of a hotspot, if you time it perfectly, is that it can give you a short-term boost in value, helping you unlock equity faster for your next purchase. But here's the thing, we don't chase hotspots. Instead, we create them. So how do we create our own hotspot? By targeting the worst house in the best street. We're not fighting over the flashy turnkey homes. We're buying the ugly duckling with less competition, meaning we can buy at better value. Then we manufacture the growth ourselves through strategic renovations and rental uplift by adding a secondary dwelling, or better known as a granny flat, putting us in complete control of the outcome and not being at the mercy of the market. And here's how we do that. We find the cheapest property in the suburb, the worst house on the best street. No fluff, no fancy tricks, just raw potential. We add value through strategic renovations, cosmetic updates designed to force equity and growth. This creates immediate uplift in the property's value, equity which we can refinance and use as a deposit on the next one. And here's the key. We only buy in metro locations with strong demand and proven growth fundamentals. These are suburbs where people want to live, where they want to work, raise their families, areas with good infrastructure, schools, and good transport links. This approach gives us the best chance of long-term capital growth and rental appeal. So now we've solved the first problem, equity or cash. But what about the second, borrowing power? Here's what most people don't know. The banks will only lend you 4 to 6 times your income. So if you earn $150K a year, you might only be able to borrow $750,000 to $900,000. One property, that's it. Not enough to retire, not even close. And you can't just wait 20 years hoping it doubles twice, not if you want to retire sooner or in a wealthier position. So that's where structure really matters. We use specific entity types and strategies that allow us to get the property to break even or even positively geared. And why do we do this? Because some lenders will ignore that debt when calculating borrowing capacity if the entity is self-sufficient. That means we can recycle our borrowing power and go again. So how do we get a property to be self-sufficient? It's simple. We renovate to increase value and rental appeal. We add a granny flat or secondary dwelling to increase the rental yield, hit that break-even point or better, and then the debt won't drag us down. Now we've solved both problems, equity and serviceability, and that's how you scale a property portfolio. And here's where the compounding effect really starts to kick in. You don't need 10 properties, although we can get you there if you need. All you need is 4. Could we go further? Absolutely. But for simplicity and to keep this strategy relatable and achievable for most people, 4 is a solid first milestone. It's enough to change your retirement outcome without overcomplicating the journey. Now, let's say you buy 4 properties at $750,000 each. That's $3 million worth of property. Now, you hold them for one full market cycle. I'm not going to tell you that it's possible in 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years. It's irrelevant. All we're going to do is let them double. Now, once they've doubled, they'll be worth $6 million. You will sell to and pay off the outstanding debt, and you'll be left with 2 fully paid off properties with granny flats attached, meaning you have 4 rentals, and these properties will continue to grow at 7 to 10% whilst giving you a very healthy, steady. But let me be clear, this doesn't happen by accident, and it doesn't happen if you wait. Every year you delay costs you growth. You miss out on equity, you miss out on rental income, you fall further behind. The market doesn't care that you're not ready. Inflation keeps rising, lending gets tighter, property prices don't pause until you feel ready. And before you know it, you're out of time. Your 50s become your 60s and your retirement goes from optional to unavoidable. That's why inaction is the most expensive choice you can make. But worse than doing nothing is making the wrong move out of fear or frustration. A great example of this is when people hit a wall with borrowing power or feel like residential yields aren't enough, they often go looking for the next level and end up turning to commercial property. But here's the truth. Commercial property comes with a very different risk profile, one that can undo years of hard work in a single bad break. Vacancies are longer and far more brutal. If a tenant leaves, you're not just sitting empty for a few weeks, you could be stuck without income for 6, 12, even 18 months. And it gets worse. When a tenant goes broke, which is more common than you think, you're left with a make good that can destroy your position. I've seen an investor recently whose commercial tenant went bust. Not only did they lose all rental income instantly, but they also got hit with a make good bill of nearly $300,000. The tenant had no money, no way to pay, and the landlord was left holding the bag. It took them 2 years just to save enough cash to get the property back to a lettable condition. That's 2 years with no rent, no equity growth, just complete and utter bleeding. Commercial can definitely have a place for a sophisticated investor with a high income that has amassed a significant amount of wealth. But for the majority of everyday investors trying to reach a comfortable retirement, there really isn't much of a need. Now compare that to a residential strategy, especially with a smart yield-focused strategy like ours. Granny flats just don't sit vacant for 12 months. There's always demand for affordable housing. You're working with lower risk, more consistent tenants and no eye-watering refit costs if someone moves out. And from a lending perspective, residential loans are safer, more flexible, and get better rates. Commercial deals usually require bigger deposits, shorter loan terms, and high interest rates, all while carrying higher risk during downturns. Now, if you're still with me, you probably realize this isn't a maybe one day plan. It's a do it now while you can plan. And if you want help building out a strategy like this, we'd be happy to help you achieve your financial goals. But here's the thing, we don't work with everyone. Our process is hands on. We're not just throwing you generic suburb lists or telling you to buy and hope. We work closely with a small group of serious investors at a time and guide them through every step, from finding the right suburb to identifying the best value add deals to overseeing the renovation and adding secondary dwellings to the properties. The entire time, we're right there with you. And yes, when you work with us, you work directly with me. You won't be handed off to some junior account manager or be treated just like another number in a big firm. I won't promise to analyze 15,000 suburbs because you only need a handful of well chosen areas to make a real impact, an everlasting change to your retirement. After all, it's impossible to build meaningful relationships with agents across thousands of suburbs, and those relationships are what really drive success. But spots are limited, and when they're full, they're full. So if you're serious about retiring richer, sooner, and doing it through a strategy that actually works, then click the button below to apply and let's see if we're a fit. You've seen what's possible. Now it's your move.